All right, all right. All right, all right, all right. Welcome to the broadcast, people. Let me just get everybody in the house. Get everybody in the house. Okay. Get everybody in the house here. How is everybody doing today? How is everyone doing today? Let me get everybody in the house here. I don't know why my screen is frozen on my Instagram feed. My Instagram feed is always a little wonky for some reason. I don't know why. But anyway, we're in here. How's everybody doing? Substack, how are you? Good day. Welcome to this Sunday show. Julio, Anita Kranz, Maxine Green, Pullman Parid, Sylvia Davenport, Miss Leania, Renubi. Well, we're a little early anyway today. I wanted to start this one a little early so I can have some things I've got to get done later on. So I thought I'd start this a little early today. We're talking about Captain Traore versus the West. I mean, it's actually based on a video that I just released. I just released a video that's doing very well, and I wanted to jump on live to communicate with folks who might have questions. That's the reason for this live right now, is to talk about Traore versus the West versus the United States. The video I just put out with all that information. If you're on YouTube, you would have seen it. If you're on Instagram, you would have seen it. If you're on my Substack, you wouldn't have seen the video, but you've already had the articles for the last couple of weeks. So you are ahead of the game. So especially if you're a paid subscriber, you would have had both articles. And the articles are a bit more in depth because obviously you can read them. It's got all the information in there. So if you're on the Substack, you should definitely check out both parts of this series. The first episode is free. The second episode is for the paid premium members. So you should check those out if you are on Substack. If you're not signed up to Substack, you need to sign up to Substack. That's just a foregone conclusion. You need to sign up to the Substack. Speaking of which, let me actually get on TikTok. Let me get on TikTok live because it's going to be an important conversation we're about to have here. Let me get on TikTok live. Oh, Lord. Let me get on my TikTok live up in here. But how is everybody doing this Sunday evening? How has your week been? How has everything been treating you? What's been going down? Let me know. Let me know. Let me know. YouTube people, the real Ramo, thank you for the appreciation. Common Wisdom, welcome. Welcome to everybody. So yeah, we're going to do a quick show today. We're going to talk about this. The last thing that I actually did, I did a podcast on the Pope, and actually, you know what? It was an audio podcast, which I'm going to be doing more of. I'm going to be doing more of those audio podcasts on Substack, because that actually went well. So I'm going to be doing a lot more of those. So stay tuned for that. Yes, we were talking about the Pope and Africa's relationship with Catholicism. But we will deal with that on another day in more depth, because I think that I would like to revisit that conversation again, because we only had so long to talk about it at that point, and I would like to revisit that conversation. Miss Liania, I see you in YouTube as well. I see you in YouTube as well as the Substack feed. So that's if you want to jump on the show later on, you can do it via the YouTube, because I'm not able to bring you on to these shows on the Substack. And also some people might have problems with some streams versus others. Other streams might be a little bit smoother. So you just have to experiment and see which stream suits you. You have to experiment and see which stream suits you. Let me get on TikTok live here. Let me get on TikTok live. Let's get everybody in the house, all my community. TikTok has played me, guys, by the way. They keep playing me. That video that I put out that's gotten so many views has only got 600 views on TikTok. That's how these guys are playing me. That's how these guys are playing me. TikTok is playing me, guys. Captain Traore. Let's give it a title. Versus United States. All right, let's get that over there. Let's get that over there. All right, TikTok is now live. I should get this. There we go. There we go. There we go. So everybody is now in the house and accounted for. So if you're on YouTube, have you guys seen the video? If you're on YouTube, and if you're on Substack, have you read the articles? And what are your thoughts? I want to hear your thoughts. Leave them in the comments. Instagram, I'm assuming that you have. Instagram, I'm assuming that you have. What are your thoughts? I've got another crazy video coming out in the next few days. There's a few crazy videos that I've got coming out over the course of this week. Because it's all hands on deck now. And I've got cash in the bank because the 300 are behind me. Shh. I don't want to say too much about that. But the 300 has been, so I've got cash in the bank. So that's the reason why you're seeing the quality of material you're seeing. It's not by accident. It's not by accident, people. The 300 are behind me now. So the quality, the production has gone up. The production levels have gone up. The production volume has gone up. I now have I'm getting more and more staff in the door. Thanks to the 300. Thanks to the 300. More staff in the door. I told you it was on. Shout out to the paid subscribers on Substack. You guys are also making a move. You're allowing me to also produce better content for the newsletter. Thank you to the paid subscribers on the Substack. To the membership, the paid membership on the YouTube, shout out to you people too. You're allowing me to create better videos for the YouTube channel. Everybody who's contributing to each of my platforms, you're the reason why those platforms are flourishing. And my Instagram people typically go to all of these paid areas. And I appreciate you guys too. Because everybody is saying, oh, we love your content. Thank you for your content. These are the guys making the content possible. You should be thanking them. Thank the 300 members. Thank the paid members on Instagram, YouTube, Substack. They're the ones making this possible. So I want to just say thank you. Let me give these guys a round of applause. Let me give them a round of applause. Thank you, guys. I appreciate you people. Thank all of you. G, I see you. I see G. G's for real. G's supporting on YouTube. He's in the 300. I think G's in the 300 too. I think G's everywhere. G's for real. He's a real G. Guys, listen. Can I get your commentary on if you've seen my video? Can I get your commentary? And can I get your thoughts on the articles that I put out in Substack? I want to get your opinions. I want to get your opinions. Brand Fleurs, of course, Brand Fleurs is here. Of course, Brand Fleurs is here. What's my thoughts on Very Dark Man? I don't know. I don't have any thoughts on Very Dark Man. What about him? Why should I have an opinion on him? Should I? TikTok, what's going on? Everybody like and share the live on TikTok. Like and share the live. We're in here. Like and share the live on TikTok. Everybody like and share the live wherever you are. Let people know that we're live. Like and share the live wherever you are. Let them know we're live. Mike Plenty says saying the quiet parts out loud. Well, you know what the crazy part is? The fact that it's even quiet. Why is it even quiet? A lot of the things that I talk about in the... Oh, listen, by the way, guys, everybody who is on YouTube right now, I'm telling you to do this as we're on the live. Go to the video that I posted Captain Traore versus the United States, and share it right now. Like, share, and comment right now. I don't care what you comment on it. This is for the algorithm. Hit the like and love button, share it, and comment right now. This is for the algorithm, because the algorithm is trying to play the video out. We're not going to let the video get played. When I say get played, you know what I'm talking about. Go to the video right now. And if you're on Instagram, you should have already done this. Instagram are on point when it comes to sharing this material. I have to be honest. Instagram is on point when it comes to sharing material. Liking and sharing and comments on my Instagram is on point. Other things are not on point, but they're on point with that. YouTube, you need to step your game up when it comes to those things. YouTube, you need to step your game up when it comes to those things, because we're all we got. The algorithm isn't going to help. Substack Substack is where it's at because there is no algorithm. So I try to beg everybody to go to Substack. People refuse. That's where I can actually really put things out. That's where I can actually really put things out. They've already had the articles. They've had the articles on Substack for weeks. Thank you, Rodney Ojuka. I'm going to be doing more of those audio podcasts, Rodney Ojuka, for my Substack audience. That's not for everybody. That's just for Substack. And actually, there's going to be a paid one as well for the paid members on Substack audio, which one is coming up later tonight, actually. Well, no, not tonight. Monday morning. So I'm going to do a paid Substack, and I'm going to send, maybe not Monday, sorry, Wednesday. I'm going to do that show for the Substack paid tier. But on Monday mornings, I want to do a free audio podcast on Monday mornings on Substack. And I'm going to allow you guys to be able to register for that. So I'm going to send the pre-registry so you can actually register for that. Okay. I haven't seen the new YouTube video, but I've read and commented on both articles. Miss Liania, yeah, you're already ahead of the curve. You're ahead of the curve because you're on my Substack paid tier. So you're already ahead of the curve. Don't worry about it. You saw everything before they did. The video is like not even, the article has everything that's in the video. Sure, so the articles have everything that's in the video. Substack gets my material first. Substack gets the material first, guys. So listen, everybody's trying to, listen, it's now a propaganda war. It's now a propaganda war, people. It's all about propaganda now. That's what we're waging. I wanted to let you know that the Merc is on the case. I wanted to let you know that the Merc is on the case. As you've seen, you see, I save the bullets. Like, I don't just like shoot willy-nilly. I load the revolver. You see, other people have Uzis and AK-47s. They're just shooting around like this. Like that. I have a 6-shooter revolver from the West, from the Old West, with silver bullets. You've got to be careful how you shoot your bullets because you've only got 6. It's a 6-shooter. But those things take out vampires and werewolves. It takes out vampires and werewolves, each bullet. People are shooting lead. The vampires and werewolves are just laughing at you. I've got a 6-shooter with silver bullets. You've got to be careful. You've got to be careful. You can't just shoot those things willy-nilly. You know? That's the reason why I'm taking my time. So you saw what I put on the table in that video. You saw the articles. Nobody's putting out material like that, people. Nobody's doing it. And I've got more in the tank. I've got more in the tank. How are you doing, Ari Zamari? How are you? TikTok, like and share the live. Like and share the live on TikTok. How are you doing? TikTok, I got played out. They don't want to share the video. The Traore versus the West video versus the United States video has 600, 700 views on TikTok. I'm almost on 100,000 views on Instagram. 100,000 views in like 8 hours. On TikTok, I have no views. And the crazy thing is that to get 100,000 views on Instagram with a video that's almost 10 minutes long is wild. That's when you know you're on point. Because the algorithm ain't pushing a 10-minute video, I can tell you that. can tell you that. It's not pushing it. That being said, guys, that's what we're dealing with. That's what we're dealing with. Everybody on YouTube now, I don't want any excuses. You go to the video, Captain Africa, Traore versus the United States. It's on my channel right now. You like, comment, and share immediately. There's almost 200 of you guys now. I want 200 likes, comments, and shares on that video right now. There's no excuse. I'll wait for you here. I'm still on the live. I'm not going anywhere. Go and do it right now, immediately. TikTok, they played us out. Instagram, Substack, you've already had the material, but this is what we've got to do now. This is what we've got to do. Now, in addition to all of these things, I've also been putting out a lot of African history content again, because I actually really do want to, I really, really want to go back to that. Like, that's something I really want to go back to. So I've been going back to that as well. So you're going to be seeing a lot more, African history material. You're going to be seeing a lot more African history material. A lot more African history material, as well as, again, this is because I'm now getting together a team. Again, shout out to the 300. We've been hiring staff. So I'm also going to be putting out APBs for different staff positions that are going to be filled. I've seen some people that I like in the community that I feel might be good for certain positions. So you might be getting a call. You might be getting a call for certain positions. And I've seen some folks, I might be giving you a job, But yes, it's going to facilitate making a lot of this content production easier, because African history is on the table again. Ancient African history, I want to do a lot more of that, because that's something I've neglected because of all the political unrest that's been going on in Africa. I've been focusing on a lot of that recently, and I want to really move back to those things. I want to move back to those things, and that's where I think the newsletter is going to be very important, because the newsletter has a great archive. So you can actually go back and read all the articles that I've written on African history in the archives. But now that I start adding more and more material, it turns into sort of a library of African history on the newsletter. It turns into a library. Substackers, by the way, please let me know by typing in the comments on Substack Live if you are in here, because I can't see who is currently live in the Substack. So please type in the comments that you are in there so I know who is in the Substack Live feed. Okay? And give me a little introduction. I mean, I know some of you guys, but some of you I do not know. Some of you I do not know. Popo Figueredo from Cabo Verde. Okay, welcome. How are you doing on the Instagram? Nani Fano, how are you? From Ethiopia, Amara on TikTok. How are you doing? TikTok, we're up against it on TikTok. They do not want us to shine. They don't want us to shine on TikTok. They don't want us to shine, guys. They don't want us to shine. We're doing what we can. As I said, guys, on YouTube, have you all done it? I gave you a little bit of time to go to the video, like, comment, share. It's very simple. It's not complicated. Has everybody done it? There's 200 of you. 200 people on YouTube. I want to see 200 likes, comments, and shares on the video. Captain Traore versus the United States, the war for Africa begins. It's a serious video. Get over there now. Do what you've got to do. We need to get the algorithm to do the right thing. We need to get the algorithm to do the right thing. I had to join the paid subscription, and it's a great source for me. I got one more person to find that is interested to give out the 5 free subscriptions. Oh, McPlenty, okay. Oh, by the way, guys, yes, McPlenty brings up a great point. I have a promotion on the Substack for a free week. You can actually get a free week of the premium, so you can actually check out my locked content. and all the articles that I have in the premium tier on Substack, there's a free week promotion. I'm actually going to do an article where I can let people know about that, because I set that up for people to have access to it at least for a week. And then you can stay if you want to stay, or not stay if you don't want to stay. Obviously, you're not going to be able to get through everything within a week, but at least you'll be able to maybe target some articles that you really want to see or really want to read during that time. So if you're on the Substack, www.alkebulan.media, if you're listening to this elsewhere, and you're already a free subscriber, or you're a follower, you're not a subscriber, whatever it is, subscribe and definitely check out the trial if you want the trial on the Substack as well. I forgot about that. And yes, if you're a paid subscriber, you can actually give away gift subscriptions to people if you wish. Nani Fano says the USA is not against Ibrahim Traore, but against us all black people. Yes, of course it is. We know this. That's for sure. Whiskey Bermuda in the house. Okay. Neka Bailey Laws from Jamaica. What's up? What's up? Julius Oluwafemi Akinola. Just finished watching the video and came to this stream. You are doing a good work, Mek. I pray genuine Africans wake up and are ready for the sacrifices ahead. Yeah, well, you know, thank you very much. I appreciate that, but I don't know if Africans are ready for any sacrifice. I don't know if they're ready for any sacrifice. Guys, we're going to do a check here. Everybody who's on the YouTube, type a 1 if you've liked, commented, and shared the video I told you to share. Captain Traore versus the United States, the war for Africa begins. Type it in the chat if you've done the due diligence. If you don't, I don't even want you on the live. If you haven't done it, I don't want you on the live on YouTube. We're all in it together, guys. That's the bare minimum you can do. That's the bare minimum you can do. We don't want you in the live if you can't do that. Substack, I respect you. I support you guys. Thank you so much. As I said for Substack, what we're going to do is I'm going to continue the Catholic Church conversation in a live show tonight. Monday morning. I'm going to give you a register so people can actually get on that. And then I'm going to have a paid tier live during the week for Substack paid tier to talk about the next projects that I'm doing as well, and to give you a little bit of insights on a few things. So I'm going to be doing that later on in the week, but these will be audio podcasts because people said that they liked those. I did one, I've done a few before, but I did one on the Catholic Church and the Pope recently, and people said they liked it. So, you know. All right, I'm seeing some ones. I'm not seeing enough ones in the chat on YouTube. I'm not seeing enough ones. I should see at least 200 ones in the YouTube chat saying that you've done the due diligence. I'm not seeing enough. I should see there's over 200 of you guys in here. What the hell is going on? See, this is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. If guys can't even do this, like, what are we doing? What are we doing if guys can't even do this? It's simple. Like, comment, and share the video. Not this video, the video that is on my YouTube channel that I put out about this. That's all you've got to do. And then come back here and type a 1 in the chat so I know you've done what you've got to do. Conrad Brown, thank you. Whiskey, thank you. Simanera, thank you. Simanera is also a YouTube member. Shouts out to you, Simanera. Julius Oluwafemi, let me put Simanera up here as a YouTube member. Julius Oluwafemi Akinola, thank you. The Real Ramo, thank you. Done what you got to do. Guys, it's for real. We've got 300 people in the YouTube now. 300 of you guys. It's for real, people. It's for real. The battle for Africa begins. The war for Africa begins. What do I mean begins? It's been waging for 100 years. Okay, Babatunji. Thank you. Thank you, Babatunji. I appreciate that. Thank you, Babatunji. Focus up, bro. Try joining the 300. Never head back. Still interested. When did you join? Did you confirm your application? If you joined, did you read any of the emails? You wouldn't have head back if you didn't press the blue button in the email. Like, When it comes to the 300, I gave up, on chasing people for that because the instructions were very, very clear. It's hard to find. Razondali, what's hard to find? Razondali, I'm not talking about on TikTok, by the way. I'm talking about on my YouTube channel. If you want to find it, you go to my YouTube, my link on my profile in TikTok, and you can see all my links. When you go to the link in my profile, and you'll see the YouTube channel there. You'll see the you'll see the 300 application. You'll see everything on TikTok. TikTok have played me. That's the reason why I don't even go on TikTok now. These people are a joke. They're a joke. Like I can't, my videos get no views. So I don't even waste my time. I don't waste my time. I'm only putting this on here just because I'm doing it at the same time as other things. But TikTok, I've had enough. I've had enough. Yeah, the link in blue text didn't go nowhere, and I emailed about the issue. Focus, I don't listen. Focus, go back to the, first of all, go back to the email that you used to apply to the 300. So go and check your email inbox now and email me, and then we'll take care of it. Focus, go to the 300 email, reply to the email, send an email now, and then I'll take care of it. Okay? Everybody in the comments, like I said, keep sharing. Star Smith is in the house. Star Smith is a 300 members, guys. Don't play with Star Smith. Don't play with Star Smith. Star Smith is a 300 member. G is a 300 member, and Brand Fleurs is I think G, is it Geo? Is that Geo? G, is that Geo? If it's not Geo, I'm sorry, you're not a 300 member. Is that G, is that Geo? Brand Fleurs is a 300 member. Don't play with him. Don't mess around with Star Smith, Geo, and Brand Fleurs. Don't play with those guys. I'm just letting you people know. It's Geo. These are 300 members in the house, people. These are 300 members. I think Star Smith is an advisory board member, if I'm not mistaken. I think Star Smith is an advisory board member. I believe he is. So Star Smith knows things that you don't know. What I'm saying, guys, is that you see the video that you watched, that's what the 300 is providing. They're the reason I was able to put that on the table. They are the reason I was able to put that video out. That's how I paid the editors. Did the research from the 300. So I want to recognize these guys who are in the chat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Nanifano, I can't share my YouTube. I'm dealing with 4 screens. Like I can't, you got to do that. I can't share it here. I told you, go to the link in my profile and you'll see all my links. You want me to type it? I can't, I'm sorry. I'm juggling too many screens. I'm juggling too many screens. Yeah, guys, but you see, this is what I'm saying, because the situation that we have here is we have to be unified. Like, we have to all work together and do our part. Like, I'm doing my part, but when you see what's going on in Burkina Faso, Mali, and Niger, and we've now seen that these guys are actually trying to do a Gaddafi on Traore. They're trying to Gaddafi this guy. The playbook is obvious. Like, and the thing is, because of social media now, they're having a hard time pulling it off. They're having a hard time pulling it off. They're trying to Gaddafi him. This is exactly what they did to Gaddafi. And the problem with Gaddafi is that when you go and watch those old videos of Gaddafi talking, he didn't take them seriously. He was laughing. When they said that, oh, your people, the insult, he was like laughing. My people love me. That's what he said. Go and watch the Christiana Amanpour CNN interview, or ABC or CBS, whatever it was. ABC interview with Gaddafi, when she talked about the insurgents and people rioting against him. And he said, what are you talking about? My people love me. Gaddafi didn't take it seriously. That's how they got him. Go and look at the videos of Gaddafi on the streets of Libya. People talking about black and whatever. Black Libyans were hugging Gaddafi. Gaddafi was hugging them. And his security said that the guy should stop hugging him. And Gaddafi said no. And he put his arm back on his shoulders. Go and see the video. It's on YouTube. Black Libyans were hugging Gaddafi. And the security tried to remove them from Gaddafi. Gaddafi put their arms back on his shoulders. The video is on YouTube. The video is on YouTube. Will they make unity work? Don't they use one of us against us again, just like they've always done? Well, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I really don't know. Just sent an email, Focus. Let me see. Let me see if I got your email. Focus group. Okay, I did get your email. All right. All right, so Focus, I will take care of this. What level did you apply at? Actually, I don't want to put that out. Well, actually, you know what? Was it bronze, silver, or gold, or platinum? I'll try and find you in the thing because I did not see you before. I did not see you before. And if so, I will fast track you. I will send an email out to the people who are new to this, to the 300 applications after Q1, because we already did Q1, and the Q1 project is actually fully in production. It's almost finished. So I'm going to have to send a separate email to everybody who applied after Q1 vote was done. And also, like I told people, everybody who applied to the 300 before Q1 and didn't make their contributions will have been removed, and they will never be allowed to join again. So I already said that to people, so you're aware. So if you applied and you didn't do what you were supposed to do, you're out forever. Like, you'll never get back in. That's the way it works. It's a one-shot deal, people. It's a one-shot deal. So yeah, guys, it's propaganda at this point. This is why I'm telling you that this live is to promote my video. This is a promotional video live. This live is to promote the video and the articles on Substack. So if you're on Substack, it's about sharing that. Please share those articles. Share them. Make notes out of them if you're on Substack. If you're on the video platforms that you're listening to this on, you share those videos. If you want to support my work, you become paid subscribers. On Substack, you know how that works. YouTube, the same thing. Because now it's all hands on deck now. You see what I produce. I deliver the goods. You see what I produce. I deliver the goods. So everybody who's saying that, Meg, thank you so much. Thank you, Meg. We love you. We love you, Meg. Thank you, Meg. The way you thank me with cash. Put the cash in the donation box so I can do more. Put the cash in the donation box so I can do more products like that. Because that stuff ain't cheap. But I'm going to keep going regardless. Because I've got a hell of a lot more to say. The video I'm going to record today, you see my studio sets, my studio is ready. After I finish this live, I'm recording another video. Because guys are really trying to take Captain Traore out. We're not going to let that happen without a fight. Well, it's not going to happen by God's grace. By the grace of the ancestors, he'll be safe, and he will serve 20. I want Traore there for 40 years. If you're going to give all these other clowns 40 years, give him 40 years. We will grow old together. He's 10 years younger than me. We will grow old yet together, Traore and us. If you can give all these other people 40 years in power, who have been ripping off the African continent, give him 40. I don't care. All this democracy, I don't care about that. The next thing you know, they do an election and they put in another puppet in there. That's why they want elections. That's why they want elections. No, we're not doing it. Leave him. He's anointed for that position. The guy isn't going anywhere. I don't want elections. Yes, I said it. Quote me. The Meg said he doesn't want elections. Voting for what? What are we voting for? I don't want it. Quote me. That's how they infiltrate you and then now put some Nguema in Gabon in power. Elections. Isn't that how they put Tinubu in power in Nigeria, with elections? Isn't that how Tinubu got into that position? Isn't that how Buhari got into that position? With elections. How did that help Nigeria? Haven't we been doing elections in Nigeria for the last 20-something years? Look who has been winning elections in Nigeria. Go to all the local governments in Nigeria and look at the elections. Go to all the local governments in Nigeria and all the states, the Edo State election, and go and look what happened to Edo State elections and come back and talk to me. My home state. My home state of Edo State. Go and look at what happened in that elections and come back to me. Elections. Rubbish. Yeah. We're not doing elections anymore. We're not doing elections anymore. We find the people who are ready to do what needs to be done. We put them in the hot seat. We find the people who are ready to do what needs to be done, and we put them in the hot seats. Forget elections. We'll deal with elections in 20 years' time when Africa is sorted out. We'll start doing. You guys did your elections when you were ready. When you were ready, you did elections, West. Weren't you doing kings and queens for hundreds of years? When you decided you wanted to do elections, that's when you did it. We will decide when we are going to do elections. We only just got independence from you in the 60s. Alleged independence, that's not even real independence. And you want us to start voting? We haven't got time for that. Our people are so bamboozled, they can't vote. They don't even know what they're voting for. We, as Africans, we're still in the kings and queens phase. That is what Traore is. That's a king that we're talking about, an African king. That is what we're dealing with. We're still in that phase in Africa. We're not doing elections anymore, as far as I'm concerned. Because elections, look at where it's led. Just constant corruption. Constantly. All those presidents, all the guys, Biya, Museveni, Tshisekedi, Kagame. What's that other guy's name? Obiang. Isn't it elections that put them in power and has kept them there? Isn't it they are winning elections for 40, 46, 50 years? You buy that? You really believe that? Come on, guys. Come on, guys. We have an emergency situation in that country. We have an emergency, in that continent. It's an emergency situation. To fix an emergency, you don't do normal treatment. We need an emergency treatment. So we haven't got time for elections. We've got to do, it's an emergency. You've got to install people in there who are strong and resolute to deal with what is going on. Star Smith, I agree with you. Democracy cannot work without revolution. We need first of all, we need to cut off the West. Like the West, we can't be involved with you because you just mess everything up. I was seeing sneaky guys coming into my comments on Instagram talking about, yeah, well, Russia and China are evil too. What are you? Who called you here? Everybody is in it for themselves. We're not naive. We're not children. You get to do business with who you want to do business with. Are you not doing business with the Middle East? The same people that you said you're waging a war on terror against, you're doing business with. The same people that are abusing what are the human rights record of Saudi Arabia? Do we want to look at the human rights record of Saudi Arabia? The people that you're doing paddy with. Doing paddy low with friends and deals with. Do you want to look at the human rights record of Saudi Arabia? What are we talking about here? That's who you're doing business with. Yet you're trying to tell Africa who they can and cannot do business with? What the hell are we doing? The idiots, these are the idiots. The fools are the Africans who listen to this nonsense, this claptrap. I don't even listen to it. When you go on my platform, this is the crazy thing about my platform. You don't see those sort of conversations because I banish those people into oblivion. I don't tolerate those conversations. I don't care about engagement. You're into oblivion. As soon as I see any of those guys I move them to oblivion. When you go on other platforms, you see people arguing and, and this is what we're really dealing with. And nah, I don't have time for that. I don't care about your opinion. It's you giving opinions that landed us into this position that we're in. It's you giving advice that put us in the position that we're in Africa. I haven't got time for your thoughts. The only time you have thoughts and opinions is when we're trying to separate ourselves from you. When people are trying to ingratiate themselves to you and be part of your systems, that is when you're telling people to go back to their country. That's when you're saying we don't want immigrants. That's when you're saying no blacks. That's when you're saying DEI. That's when you're saying woke. When guys don't want to have anything to do with it, I say, listen, no, fine, we're going our own way. We're going, oh, hang on a sec. Where are you going? You know, those people are really bad too. They're really bad. Why are you going over there? Clowns. Clowns. I don't have time for that. Everybody's focus right now should be on protecting Captain Traore. That's your focus. That's your duty as a son and daughter of Africa. You hear what I'm saying? As a son and daughter of Al-Kabolan, that's your duty. If you don't do your part to protect this guy, you failed. Where are you? You failed. All of you guys watching football, Champions League. Why are you watching Champions League for? I'm an Arsenal guy. I haven't watched any matches. This season, I didn't say that I didn't watch Champions League. I haven't watched any matches this season. And I'm Arsenal. Anybody who knows me, I'm Arsenal, the Gunners. I haven't watched any matches. No time for that. There's no time for football anymore. There's no time for football anymore. I've watched no matches. Arsenal are top of the league. Well, not top of the league, almost top of the league. Champions League semi-final, I didn't watch any matches. I've been hearing things through the grapevine. And anybody who knows me said, Meg, you haven't watched any matches of Premiership? You haven't watched any Champions League? For the whole season? Yes, for 2 years, not 1 year, 2 years. I stopped watching in 2022 when this platform began. That's a sacrifice. Anybody who knows me knows how big a sacrifice that is. The Meg stopped watching football. We don't have time for it. It's a distraction. Anybody who knows me knows how big a sacrifice that is. Anybody who knows me knows how big a sacrifice that is. I stopped. I don't watch football now. I don't watch movies. Cinema. Oh, Sinners is out. All of this. I haven't got time for that. Are you going to be watching movies when you're in chains? All that stuff is a distraction, people. We haven't got time. There's no time, especially if you're a parent. If you've got children, that's a disgrace. If you've got kids, especially if your kids are young, and you're from Africa and you've got children, and you're busy watching football and watching films and listening to music. Wow, man. Listen, I'm sorry for you. What an embarrassing situation. If you have children, parents should be the ones who, this is a no-brainer, because you should be terrified of the future that you're going to live for children. When you look at your children's faces, you're thinking that, what kind of world am I going to leave for these guys? Because you realize what's happening to you. And you're like, you should be scared for them. It's like, my goodness, how are they going to eat? How are they going to survive? They're not going to have any freedoms. They're going to be second-class citizens in their own continent. Worse, if you're in America, where are you going to go? Because you see what's going on in that society. You should be looking at, listen, I need to give my kids as many options as possible and make sure that I deprogram their mind so they can make sensible decisions for their own salvation in the future. This is for the children. It's not for us. You think I'm doing this for our generation? I'm finished. I'm finished. I'm old. This is for the kids. Anybody under the age of 25. This is for the people under 25 years of age. In fact, under 20. If you're 25, you're already an adult, really. You're an adult at 25. I would say under 20, like if you're a teenager and below. Because if you're 25, you should really already be doing things. You should already be looking at this Traore situation and be involved. I'm keeping it real. I'm keeping it real. YouTube people, have you all, there are 300 of you guys on YouTube now. We've gone from 200 to 300. Have you all gone to my latest video on my YouTube channel, Traore versus the United States, the war for Africa begins? Traore versus the United States, the war for Africa begins. Like, share, comment immediately, right now, not after the live is finished. You go there and do it right now and come back to the live. If you cannot do that, please leave the live. If you can't do that, please exit my live show. YouTube people. Substack, you're already on point. If you're watching this on YouTube, if you cannot do that, please exit the live show. That's it. Because the algorithm is not going to push that video. The algorithm is not going to push that video. Okay? It's all on you. You are the algorithm. You are the algorithm for my platform, the community, because the algorithm ain't going to do it. So all of your shares is the only way that that video is going to be getting anyway. We get that video to 100,000 views today. We get it to 100,000 views today if you do your due diligence. Guys, the cleaning is going to start now, okay? Just so you know, in the background, this always happens during my shows. I do not mean to interrupt the show, but you're just going to have to ignore it because it is what it is, okay? Guys, it's for real now. So everybody, please do that. Please do that. I'm going to put some of the banners on the screen for YouTube people. So this is the sign up. Oops, let me actually put this. Where is it? Well, the 300 application, this is there. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually play the commercial for you so you can know what it is. I'm going to play the commercial.
Have you seen the movie 300? It's based on the ancient myth of 300 Greek Spartan warriors that defeated an army of Persians. This gave me an idea. I don't need an army of thousands. I only need 300 committed individuals. 300 people who believe and are ready to fund the creation of content that educates, inspires, and uplifts us. Each quarter, the 300 will decide what projects to create. Each quarter, they will provide the resources to make it happen. I'll set the base rate at maybe $100 once a quarter when the project is voted on, but any individual can decide to put in more. Together, we'll create a system that cannot be censored, silenced, or suppressed. Are there 300 of you willing to work with me to do what we need to do? If so, there is a link to the 300 form in my profile bio and in the description of this video, depending on where you are watching this. The world will not save Africa, and it never will. We must save ourselves.
Oops. All right, guys, there you have it. That's the information for those people. And as I said, guys, we're already in we're going towards quarter two now. So if you do join, I will just have to integrate you, into the system because we are already into quarter two. So yeah, there we go. There we go. There we go. There we go. Listen, I feel that what I like now is the fact that there is so much awareness of this story. I mean, there really is. And obviously, and I think this is actually another sign that of what the West is really about. A story that is so viral on social media amongst all of us, the mainstream media still doesn't talk about it. Wouldn't you think this would be on the news, every news station round the clock? No. This is how you know what they're really about. This is how you know what the news and television networks and movie station studios and everything are really about, because they're not talking. This is all independent media talking about this. This is what we're dealing with. They won't stop until they get him eliminated. He needs to do as much as he can with the short space of time he has. Captain Africa is working against time, but his passing will awaken minds. That is what I'm scared of. Vusumuzi, I'm scared of that. I'm scared that they can't let him live. And I think he knows it too. That's the scary part. And I think that Africans and Black people around the world need to know the kind of evil that we're dealing with, that they can't, like, Africa cannot be free. They can't allow it to be free, because a free Africa is the antithesis of the empire that we're looking at. They can't allow that. So once you understand that concept, that everything you see is a controlled lie, the news, the films you watch, the television shows you watch, the music you listen to, everything is designed to control this facade. It's all designed to control this facade, to keep you ignorant. It's all a distraction. It's all a distraction. I haven't watched television in 20 years. I stopped watching TV in 2005. It's changed my life, people. That was the beginning of my real awakening, was that I stopped watching television. And when you stop watching TV, I moved to YouTube in 2005 from watching TV. And so I was one of the earliest YouTube users. Like, people got into YouTube much later than me. I was watching YouTube from 05, 06, when it just basically started. It changed my life, because I was like, wow, there's this platform where I can decide what I want to see, how I want to see it. And just like that, the cord was cut. And I became free. The mind became free, because they couldn't use the programming of television to control my mind anymore. I was free. And that's changed things. So when I look at all of you guys watching television and TV programming and, hey, what's on Netflix now? They're watching all this. I'm like, I'm sorry for you. Because it's very difficult for you to even begin to develop your minds when you're allowing some shadowy figure in a programming booth somewhere to dictate what you see and how you see the world. I stopped that a very long time ago. I stopped that many years ago, guys. 20 years ago, and it changed everything. It changed absolutely everything. What's up, TikTok? Like and share the live. It changed everything, people. So anyway, look, that was what the purpose of this live was. I'm glad that I've... Hold on, what am I saying here? Support. Oh, getting a support message. I don't know what that means. Yes, that was the purpose of this live, is basically, yes, to really promote the video I posted and the conversation, and hope that everybody's going to do their part. Won't you grow your reach audience if you collaborate with other influencers sharing the same sentiments? Tahaka Music, go and ask the other creators if they will collaborate with me. Ask them. Who is reaching out to me to collaborate? Go and ask them. We have no unity in the community and in the culture. Forget about even me. Why are more of them not collaborating with each other? Why are they not collaborating with each other? Why are they not collaborating with each other? Eurosnators always find it odd that people who don't watch the TV news think they have superior logic. Yes, because we do. Compared to those who do. It's all relative. If you watch the news, program news and programming and all that sort of stuff, yes, you do have inferior logic. Because it's illogical to abdicate your narrative to somebody you can't even see, let alone from a community that has historically subjugated you. So yes, we are superior. Any other questions? Any other questions? Then the guy thinks I'm going to be arguing with him and say, no, well, yeah, we are. We are. And I feel sorry for those who are still watching programmed news and television networks. I feel sorry for you. Good luck with that. Good luck with that, folks. What other creators, John McPlenty says, listen, that's the problem. That's the problem. What other creators are we really even talking about? Like, most of the people talking about this are just news people. They're like Pan-African news networks. How many creators really in the Pan-African conversation are actually really giving commentary that I would even collaborate with? Like, who are we talking about? We have far more charlatans out there who are running into... There's a person called Magata Wade. Have you ever heard of a woman called Magat Wade or something? Bloody hell, man. That person is like, listen, at some point I'm going to have to talk about her because that woman is like, she's allegedly an African. I think she's African or something. And I was watching videos of her like on Jordan Peterson's thing, talking the most I was like, I don't understand how a black woman from Africa can be that outwardly selling out your own folks. Like, it's crazy to me. It was crazy to me. That's the sort of person that we've got out there. Those people are the ones who have platforms and people are looking at. Folks like that. So realistically, who are you collaborating? Senegal. She's from Senegal. My goodness, that lady is off the hook, man. Listen, embarrassing. Senegal, embarrassing. Embarrassing. Like, I look at her, the stuff that she posts, all that I see is criticizing Africa. You can't stand up on your feet. This is how you do it. I'm like, what are you doing? Completely ignores all this stuff that these folks are doing to make sure you can't advance. I want to see her videos on Captain Traore. She will never post that. Post about him. I want to see your videos about Traore. I want to see your videos about what Michael Langley said about him. She won't post that. That's how you know what somebody is on. That's how you know where somebody is really thinking. That's why she won't post about. Why won't she post about this? Where's your post about the Sahel Alliance? She won't do that. It's for the cash. This is the reason why these platforms that we're on, my platform, matters, because we have to have counter-programming. Because Africans were led by people like that, where the West will anoint them, or the white power would anoint them and give them the support, where they become the spokespeople for us, the intelligentsia for us. We're not doing that anymore. So when people say that, why don't you collaborate? Who am I collaborating with? Charlatans? Who am I collaborating with? Nobody wants to collaborate. Everybody's worried about their views. Everybody's worried about their followers. The Meg has 145, almost 150,000 on YouTube by himself. I have no sponsors, no collabs. 150,000 on YouTube alone. We're going to get to 1 million by ourselves. No collabs. Because it's all about the message. I don't need the collaborations. I don't need the collaborations. I'll take them because, listen, if somebody wants to actually say the right thing, I'll definitely do it. So I'm not against that. But I'm not chasing it. Chaka Baz supports. Yes, no, Chaka Baz is a supporter. He actually subscribes to my channel. He supports my channel. Chaka Baz is for real. Chaka Baz is a long-time supporter of my channel on Instagram. No hate on Chaka Baz. My video freeze. Is my video frozen on Substack? Guys, is my video frozen on Substack? Can you let me know? I don't think it is. It doesn't look like it is. Instagram, you're about to be cut off. So you're going to need to switch to my Substack click the link in my profile bio and go to my newsletter, sign up there, and you'll be able to continue the live show on Instagram. Instagram feed is about to end, okay? Just so you know. On your phone. Instagram is now gone. Instagram is gone. Damn, man. Oh, God. Oh, man, my back is killing me. It starts and freeze forever. What is frozen, G? Yes, it's frozen. Frozen where? Where is it frozen? Where is it frozen? Is it frozen on YouTube? Is it frozen on YouTube? It doesn't look like it's frozen on my end. My YouTube doesn't look like it's frozen on my end, so I don't know what's going on. Substack. Oh, okay. Substack is frozen. I don't know what is going. Do you know what the thing is? Not frozen. Okay, look, some people say it's not frozen for them on Substack. Some people say it's not frozen on Substack. Look, guys, if people want me to collaborate with people, then let them know to contact me. If you want me to, listen, I'm not chasing anybody. If you want me to collaborate with guys, let them know. I'm not. I mean, look, I reach out to folks sometimes and I talk to them and, you know, they either reply or they don't reply. The real Ramo, the other presidents need some recognition too. They need recognition, but Traore is the one that they're targeting because they know he's the symbol. Assimi Goita is not a symbol. Tiane is not a symbol. They are doing the right thing, but they know why they're attacking because this guy is the one with charisma. Hearts and minds is how you lead people. And they know that because that is what they've always used against us. That is the reason why they exalt their leaders. They make statues of them. They make songs of them. They make public holidays of them, movies about them, TV shows about them. They do it because they understand the power of charisma and the ideology. And they do not want Africa to have that. That is the reason why they eliminate the Africans who step up and have that kind of magnetic charisma. And they do the same thing to the... JFK was unalived for the same reason. So it's not like they only do it to black people. It's like, listen, anybody that is against the machine, whether you're black, white, green, or blue, they've got to get rid of you. So that's the reason why Traore is the main guy, because of who he is. Thank you, Dwight Jeffrey. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, guys, look, I mean, this is what we're dealing with. All right, look, let me quickly bring some folks in before I go. I'm a bit late on this. Let me bring some folks in real quick. That's the link, guys. Quickly jump in. If you want to jump on the show, that's the link in the YouTube. Please quickly jump in so I can get out of here. Click that link. Make sure you've got everything on point. Get your cam on, your webcam on. Jump in quickly. So before I head out here, I should have done this a half an hour ago. So I'm a bit late on that, but please drop in. You can't click on the link if you're not on a browser. So please go onto your browser, preferably Chrome. Go onto Chrome and then you can get in via your desktop. You cannot do it on a phone. Miss Liania, ooh, okay, welcome. It's been I haven't seen you on the show. How are you? Oh, I can't hear you. Hold on. Hold on a second. Let's see why I can't hear you. Settings.
I am doing well.
Oh, now
Thank
I
you
can.
so much.
Okay.
Yeah, I had the microphone off. Sorry. I'm toggling between two
You're
windows on the
very your
laptop?
volume is very faint. I can barely
Very
hear
low.
you for some reason.
Okay, let's see.
Let me. I think I've got my volume. Hey guys, can you? Is it just me? Because I can very. It's very low on my end. Let me see.
I can't.
Yeah, my
Is that
volume
better?
is up.
Is that
Output.
better? No. Okay. Let's see. Is that better?
Um.
No.
Yeah. Let me see. It's not okay. Well, people said it's just me. Then it's just me. It's not anybody else. It's just me. You're fine. Everybody says you're fine. It's just me. So yeah, for some reason, it's the audio is low on my end. But carry on. You might need to angle your camera down slightly.
Oh.
The camera's a little high, yeah, so we can see you a bit better. Okay, all right,
Okay.
there we go. Yeah, it's just me.
Um,
So go ahead.
so actually that goes to the first point I would love to make, which is about the tech. Because your message is so impactful, so powerful, and the technology is problematic, I think, personally, with
Mm,
Substack. I understand why you decided to go with Substack because of the freedom piece, the lack of
yes,
censorship, but I guess because it's a relatively new platform, it's just
right.
going through too many growing pains. So like I was over here frozen the entire time that people were saying like what's happening on Substack. So that's why I was commenting on YouTube, but because I am a subscriber, I get the notices directly from Substack. So I go straight on from the notice.
Right.
But then even once I closed it out and went back on, I couldn't even find it on your page, on the
Ah,
Okay
right,
Plan page.
right.
So it's yeah. I mean I understand again why you're doing it, but I think it's good to at least keep the other platforms in play until it catches up a little bit.
Mm.
And so while you asked us if we would go and watch the video, and I saw what you meant saying that the video is just basically a video version of the articles that I did read.
I mean, the
And
article has a bit more in. To be honest, it's a bit. It's better
more
to have
it's
the
more
article.
detailed, it's
Yeah,
more
exactly.
detailed for sure, but I understood what your point was in terms of the video is basically just a recap of the articles.
Yes, exactly.
Specifically I guess it seemed that it was kind of like a combined the first and the second.
It's a combine.
And
Yeah, it's a summary
yeah,
of both pieces. Yes.
yeah, yeah. And so, but watching it, going and watching it, then all of this other content. So the algorithm is obviously working in some way because, like, when I watched it, then I saw where I guess Wodamaya it was heading to Burkina Faso to sit with President Traore,
Mm-hmm.
and he posted it on Friday. It said the ninth. So on Friday. So I think they're all yeah, they're all one is feeding the other. So I actually shared one with you from one of the Ghanaian youth who posted, and it was very similar to what we talked about last week. And I think you may have reacted to it on Substack.
Right.
But basically, I just wanted to say that I feel like your message is very impactful, very powerful, and I don't know that it is I don't know that it is a good idea to rely so heavily on Substack right now. I mean, I understand again keeping it in play because of its value,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, technology is just is
Yeah. I mean,
it's growing pains.
yeah, no, I agree with you. And I think,
Yeah,
that's why I still have all of these other live
yeah,
platforms up,
yeah,
using them at the same time. The
yeah.
problem is the irony. This is the irony. The reason why you've not missed anything is because you're on Substack.
Right.
So the reason why you see, there's a lot of people in your position who They're like, what happened to you? I haven't seen your videos in 6 months. I haven't seen your things, because they're not on the newsletter. Because you're on the newsletter, you get the emails, you get the alerts, so that you have the opportunity to even complain that, oh, this isn't working, or I can't get through to this. That is a positive thing. The fact that you're not missing anything. The issue is the technology not being able to measure up to what you need to see. That is what I'd rather be in that position than, let me give you an example. So Wodemaya is going to Captain Traore and everything. This is all good stuff. The reality is this. Anybody who's been on my platform knows that I've been talking about this for 2.5 years. I've been talking about him for 2.5 years. Before, it was a popular topic. You know, the videos are actually even still on my YouTube from 2022, 2023, 2024. I've been talking about this for all this time. Now, the way that I view these things is that Captain Traore is a very important piece of a much bigger pie, of a much bigger thing that is happening. A very important piece. What you're going to now start seeing is a bandwagon effect, which is good and bad. The good thing about it is that the more that we can get this conversation out there, the more difficult it is for the West to completely control the narrative, because everybody's talking about it. That's the positive side, because you want to make it almost a pop star effect. Because once you're able to do that, at least everything is in the light. That's where you want it. That's the base level you want. Because once things are hidden, it gets very easy now to manipulate the narrative. The problem, though, and for me, this is what really concerns me the most, is control of the narrative. What you don't want is for it to become too commercial a movement. Because when it becomes too commercial a movement, they can decide to switch the movement off. Which is what happened to Black Lives Matter, what's happened to woke. Woke is one of the best examples. Woke is one of the most powerful concepts for Black people. Being woke. Somehow you willingly gave this term and this concept to the very community that woke was created to separate yourselves from. That is what has happened. So you've now got a situation where even Black people use woke as a negative term. They use it as wokeness. I never use it as a negative term, because it's not negative. Just because these guys want to define it as such, because it was becoming too powerful. It's the same concept I look at when I look at this and I say, man, you don't want a situation where the Traore thing becomes, where you lose control of that narrative. That is what worries me the most about this entire situation, is that, okay, we're doing this, but we have to maintain control of this narrative. We have to, you know, because what kind of videos does he make? What kind of stuff does he make? Because I haven't watched his material that much. I've seen a couple of videos, but what does he do?
He's Mr. Social Media Africa. So he has almost 2 million subscribers at this point. And he travels all around the continent, but he's a Ghana boy and proudly a Ghana village boy. But
I've
this
heard good things
video,
about him.
he's good people. And I actually met him while I was there. But the video of his trip, which he posted on Friday, well, the title, I didn't even get a chance to watch it because I was engaged in the live, but it just says that he was heading to Burkina Faso to meet President Traore. And to that point, in one of the comments I made last week, I'm consciously calling him President Traore, because even Captain is kind of a slight of sorts, a little bit. We talked about it last week. We talked about it last week. Yeah, we talked about the whole
the
head. Thing. Yeah, exactly. And so I posted a comment just saying that I'm going to be more conscious of calling him President Traore. But then another thing, going back to the tech stuff, just to add on. So I actually just missed your live audio podcast yesterday because I silenced my phone. But I want to encourage you to try that, because once I did go on and I was able to play it back, the audio was smooth and everything. So I look forward to, you said you're going to try to do one on Wednesday, try to do another audio podcast on Wednesday.
Yes, I'm going to try and do another one. I think the audio is good because I think the audio is good. Do you know what somebody just said? They said that R. Kelly made a song for Traore.
Yeah, well, that's AI. It's excellent
Oh, it's
AI.
AI.
It's excellent AI, but yeah.
I have to listen to that. That's funny.
Yeah. I'll send it. I'll send it to you.
So yes, anyway, so I will try and do one on Wednesday, and I agree with you. I think the audio is good. I think most people like just listening. I think, to sit down and try and watch a video for most folks is challenging. I think it's just the demographic of my audience. I think because my audience goes from like 18 all the way to 60 plus.
Yeah.
I think it's just such a wide breadth. So there's some people younger who like the videos. And then obviously the older folks like to just listen to the audio. So I will do that. I will definitely do that. I think the technology.
Yeah, I think it's more of a tech thing for me in terms of my suggestions, more of a tech thing for now, using audio only format.
Right,
for now.
right. Yeah, no, I mean, I will do that. And yeah, no, with Burkina Faso, look, I will go over there in good time. I think for me, because I'm really just focused on establishing my platform, and taking my platform where it needs to go. I want to focus on that mainly, with the 300 staff and getting these projects going and getting my platform stabilized, because I actually really do believe that what we're doing on this platform is different from anywhere else. I think that we are really more focused on narrative control, because I see somebody in the comments saying, Yahe is saying that we need to stop worrying about narratives. Well, that's the problem. The fact that there are people who think that we can stop worrying. No, narratives is all there is. Narratives is how slavery happened. Narratives is how colonialism was perpetuated and happened. Jim Crow, the Ku Klux Klan, it's narratives, which is what they understand. And it's ironic. One of the most powerful tricks that they use is to make people think that narratives don't mean anything, that you've got to be out there doing. No. Narratives, the control of the narrative is everything, because humans are emotional, spiritual beings. So you need to control human hearts and minds. That is the reason why any government and any empire hangs on for dear life to the radio, news, television, film, music. They hang on to it for dear life because they understand this is the only way we can maintain power. They cannot maintain power any other way. Once you lose control of those things, you're in trouble, which is what is happening now. That is literally what is happening now. Yeah, hey, you don't know what you're talking about. So I'm going to stop responding to you. You have no idea what you're talking about. All that is theory. No, it's not theory. And if you don't know that it's not theory, this conversation is beyond your pay grade. So you can, the door is over there. You can exit yourself. If you think that's all theory, and you're talking about practical efforts, what are the practical efforts? Don't just say it. Tell us what the practical efforts we should be doing instead of narrative control. Type it in the comments. Don't just talk. What are the practical efforts that we're not doing that we should be doing? Type it. And I don't want to see petitions, marching, or protests. Type it. Type the things we're not doing that we should be doing. Yeah, guys. You need to hear the I got that one. So guys, listen, everybody in here, you've all liked and shared the video? Have you all liked and shared the video? Have you all liked and shared the video? You know the video I'm talking about, the one on my channel? Have you liked and shared the video? Traore versus the United States. The war for Africa begins. Miss Liania, what happened to you? I can't see. What happened to your feed? Oh, there you are. Okay.
No, I just went quiet and dark, but I'm still here. I'm still posted.
Right. Okay.
I just wanted to stay on in case there was something else I wanted to add before you got off.
Oh, yeah. No, because I am winding down. Yeah, guys, anybody else who wants to come and leave a comment, please do it now, because I'm winding down in about 5 minutes. So please jump on with the link. right now. Jump on with the link right now. And yes, so what I'm going to do with the Substack is I will be doing audio podcasts. You know? Oh, Angelo, thank you. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. So what I'm going to do is that I'll be doing audio podcasts on the Substack for the technological reasons, because it seems like everybody liked the audio thing. So I might even do one today. I might do one later on today. I mean, tomorrow rather, Monday. I might do one on Monday to give people an opportunity and just to get a feel for it. Because the reality is that, look, I mean, if the audio thing works well, it's something I can do regularly quite easily. I can do it regularly quite easily because I don't have to set up as much studio materials, and I can actually do it quite easily. And because it's email based, obviously, then the alerts will go to you, and more people will be able to access that. And I will then be posting it because it goes directly. So it links directly to my Apple and Spotify podcast. So there's an Apple and Spotify podcast of the Alkebulan newsletter. And if you're subscribed to that, then even if you miss things, you can listen to it on Spotify or on Apple Podcasts or anywhere you listen to podcasts. But I do agree.
Hey, can I
yeah, go on.
Can I say one thing real quick before we jump off?
Yes.
So my comment on the article, the 7-step playbook, the 7-phase playbook, one of the comments, and you talked about this a little bit earlier tonight, is on step 7 in terms of, well, I think 4 was the one I commented on because that's the one with melanin as a weapon against each other, right?
Okay.
That was step 4, right? And then step 7 was using people within, like using their close people, their circle. Isn't it? Phase 7 is like using the people that's close to them. I think so. That 7 is using the people close to them as the infiltrators, basically, right?
Yeah.
So, and I think when you talked about it earlier, it brought to mind my comment, which is male or female. History has shown that it has been usually men who have sought the power that have been easily manipulated to get in and infiltrate. But I'm wondering what his personal situation is, because I'm thinking like Samson and Delilah. Can he be?
Very, very good point. That's excellent.
Yeah.
And that I would actually say this. Do you know what's scary about this? This is scary. Do you know the reason why I believe that Traore has been so effective is because he's single? I'm telling you, which a lot of women will not want to hear that. They won't want to hear that. I will tell you that the reason why this man has been able to do what he's done is because I don't know whether he's celibate or not. I don't know. I don't know those details. But I would say that he's living a sort of monk-like life. Like he's living in a sort of like, when you look at how he's operating, I'm like, I think even he knows. It's like he's living a very monk-like life. Anthony Joshua talked about this actually, because he doesn't have a girlfriend, doesn't have a wife or anything. And somebody asked him in an interview, and he said that the reason why is that it brings a lot of distraction, and it would be difficult for him to have done what he's done if he had a wife or girlfriend. Listen, there is truth in what you're saying. You're hitting on a very important point, because the second that this guy gets into a relationship, we need to figure out who that woman is. That is an easy way for a guy to like, we've got to know who is this lady.
Yeah.
Where are you coming from? What's your situation? That is a very easy and quick way for a guy to lose direction. Now, it could also be a way for a guy to get stronger, like Winnie Mandela and Mandela, who ended up being stronger than Mandela.
If it's the right woman, for sure. No question.
It's like, if you get the right person, But you are 100% correct that he needs somebody like Winnie Mandela. Like, it's like you need somebody like that who, you see, when you have somebody like that, it means that they almost have to take both of you out, because they're like, if you take the guy out, like, the woman is like, she's worse than him. Like, she's more extreme. And so it's weird. It's like, it depends on who he finds. Like that Dr. Arikana, if he found somebody like her, you know, that is the sort of lady that would make sense for what he's doing, because she'd almost be able to operate without him and keep things moving. So you're right. And yeah, I don't know what he's going to do, because at some point he's going to get into some kind of relationship. I don't know what he's going to do, because he's got to be careful. This is the sort of thing that, listen, and who am I to suggest? You've got to have an arranged marriage. It's got to be arranged. Let us all vet. We all vote on who it's going to be. The whole of Africa will vote. We do a vote, because the stakes are too high.
Yeah.
The stakes are too high. So I think everybody's got to have a vote on who this woman is going to be, because you don't want it like, oh man, yeah. Very good points. You bring up that is worth a topic for a video, for a whole live. Thank you, Brown Skin Out Viv, for the super chat. Thank you, Brown Skin Out Viv. It's been a long time. I haven't seen you in ages. Listen, you bring up a very, very good point, and I think it's worth an entire show on that, because I don't know, and I think it is risky. It is a Samson and Delilah possibility, because if you think this guy is going to get involved with somebody and the CIA is not going to find out who she is, or they are not already preparing people who are going to see him at an event.
Honey shot.
You know what I'm saying? If you think guys are not trying to figure out, place this lady in this event, when he's going to this show, then she's going to be there. She'll be the attaché or the secretary. Whatever. If you think that is not happening, you're crazy. That is definitely happening. So this is one of those things that we've got to go back to the ancestral systems. We've got to go back a few thousand years of when we were doing what we're doing and arrange the marriage. Guys need to be sending pilgrimages from Ethiopia, from South Africa. You know how they used to do back in the day in Africa, where they would send, they send the possible queens to the king, so the king can pick the queen. That's what we got to do. Nigeria will send their delegates. Kenya will send their delegate. Well, not Nigeria. Okay, Nigeria's out. Kenya's out too, actually. Uganda's out. But some African countries will send their delegates. Now, you know what? Listen, we'll go to Nigeria, we'll go to Benin or somewhere. We'll find somebody who's on point. Go to like the Igbos side, because they don't even like Nigeria. So we go to the Biafra people. The point I'm making is that Africans, we have to take this thing you're saying seriously, because you make a very good point that nobody's really think. I thought about it some time ago, but I didn't give it enough thought. That is a concern. Yes, coming to America, Eddie Murphy. We've got to do a coming to America for Captain Traore. We have to do a coming to America for Captain Traore. Traore is Muslim, yes, we know. Remember, he was the president of the Marxist students. He's not a Westerner. So yeah, he can have multiple wives. He can have more than one wife if he wants. That's a mistake. I don't think he should do that, because the more you have, the more problems, the more possibilities for issues. But you know what? Listen, we're joking about it, but I think what I'm saying is actually it's actually serious. I think that is what should happen. I think doing something like that is actually realistic. I think that it should be an arranged thing somehow, because I think the stakes are it's too dangerous for him to just meet somebody and trust them. I think it's too dangerous. You know, so I actually believe that some kind of arrangement needs to happen, you know, in some way. And if he wants to have 5 wives, then fine, you know, we find the right people. Like, I really think that that's what should happen. Because I'm like, yeah, No, we don't. Yeah, that is.
And you know what? And you know what? Now that I think about it, I'd be willing to bet that that came up in the interview with Wodemeyer. I'd be willing to bet in terms of what his situation is, because that is the kind of probing that he does. So I look forward to watching that afterwards. Yeah, in terms of asking him what his romantic situation is, if any. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
Hmm.
I would hope he asked him, because
I'm. Yeah. We'll
yeah, that
see.
would be
Yeah.
that's a very, very, because the thing is, if you look at all these soldiers, I think Assimi Goita is in a similar situation. I haven't seen him with a wife. Maybe he does, but I haven't seen him with anybody. Tiani does have a wife, so I think he's different, but he's older. He's an older guy. But yes, it sort of makes sense, because he got in when he was like 32, 34. So by the he was young. So I mean, he got in so young that yeah, I guess like he hasn't even reached that phase. He's in the military, he's a soldier. When would he have gotten married? Then he's immediately, he's then president. And so I sort of understand how, because most people in Africa who are military leaders, their military leaders are 50, 40s, mid 40s, late 40s, 50 years old, so on, at the earliest, these days. So those days are gone. So yeah, we'll see. But I think it's a very, Beloved says Traore has a wife and children. Beloved 65. Forgive me if I don't take you seriously. I don't know what's your credentials are, where you, because nobody else seems to know about this. Nobody else seems to know about this. But yes, good point. Anyway, Conrad, before I check out, so Conrad, what are your thoughts?
So my thoughts were kind of, you made a comment earlier about just saying what you feel like should happen. My thoughts is just sticking on, we all as a community really need to, Caribbean, US, Africa, we all
Sorry,
need
hold
to.
on, Conrad. Sorry, I don't mean any disrespect.
No, you're
There
fine.
is somebody called Sherry Ash that I want to take her voice and banish it into oblivion. So Sherry Ash, I will now be taking your voice. You will be able to see and enjoy my content, but your voice will be taken and banished into oblivion. Conrad, please continue.
Yeah, so basically being able to have the entire community really working together, from the Caribbean islands, from the US and everything, really kind of, I feel like the message, because you're saying it not being too mainstream, but being able to be set up in a way that it really helps benefit without it going too public where they can turn it off. The main thing is, I feel like our community, the Caribbeans, the Americans, the Africans in the Black community, as well as the Black Latinos, they really need to focus on jumping behind this bandwagon, if you will, and really
Yes.
kind of putting ourselves in a position to be able to say, hey, we can bring, like the Caribbean can bring in fresh cuts of growing fruit trees to be able to.
Oh, yes.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Just things
Yeah.
that are going to really help. America can bring in them the mentality,
And
their
the money. America is just the cash,
the
it's
financial.
finances.
But at the end of the day, that's what we need. We need all of those different pieces of our community to house themselves in that continent and be able to really kind of start heavily building on a beautiful infrastructure that rivals China, because America doesn't have a real infrastructure right now. It's beautiful, it's nice, but it doesn't have a technology advanced infrastructure like what could happen in Africa with all of the minerals and everything right there, versus shipping them halfway around the world just to be able to
Right.
build what you need. You could build it on site. That was all I wanted to come in and
Right.
say. That was just my quick piece.
Yeah, no, fine. Yeah, no, I agree with you. And I think that you are right. That is something that needs to be. That I think this is all I think for now, to be honest, we're in a phase of reprogramming. To be honest, I think when it comes to practical things, that's gonna happen. We are in a reprogramming phase. There are millions. There's a billion people who are bamboozled. We have to reprogram a billion minds. So for us to do that, before we can even begin to go in any direction of actually building. You know, when I told people, I said that we're not even ready for our own social media. We're not even ready for that. Because if you produced it, Africans still want to be hot on TikTok. They still want to be hot on YouTube, on Instagram, on Substack, on whatever thing is Snapchat, whatever thing the West is saying is hot. That's where they want to be. That we are bamboozled. We need to reprogram ourselves to be like China. You see, the Chinese figured it out. They were like, in order for us to develop our community, we need to cut ourselves off. And they did. They cut themselves off for decades, and look at them now. Now those people are coming to them to ask them to work with them, and they don't have to. Who is China compared to Africa? Think about nothing. Who are you compared to Africa?
Nothing.
So when you think about us,
it's
it's like,
come and take you away right now.
listen, who is the Middle East compared to Africa? Middle East is full of desert. It's sand, most of it. They only have one real resource, oil. The main thing that you have is one resource. We have like 100.
Steve Harvey made a statement. He said that Africa is the only continent in the world that doesn't need anybody. They don't need your oil. They don't need your gas. They don't need none of it
They don't need anybody for anything. The fact that the Middle East can be in the position that it's in from the 70s, they were nowhere, to now. China from the 60s to now. Africa, for the love of God, the only reason why we're where we are is sabotage.
Exactly.
Sabotage.
Hit the industrial age in Africa.
It's sabotage. And that is why everybody is so scared now. Everybody is terrified. You see, when people talk about Russia and China being bad, I say, listen, everybody is in it for themselves. But Russia and China don't look at Africa the way the West does. They look at it and say, we need them, and we need to figure out a way to be partners with these guys. That's the difference. They're like, how do we get these guys to want to work with us? The West is like, we will make you work. You don't have it's either you work with us or we take you down.
Yep.
And we will tell you the terms that you're going to work with. It's ridiculous. So from my point of view, it's like, look, the whole house of cards is falling down. When you look at the commentary on social media, that is the thing that makes me laugh the most, is that, you see, white supremacists know the truth. What they're afraid of is you knowing the truth. That's what scares them. It's like they already know. They know that Africa is the most powerful. They know that Black people are beautiful, they're intelligent, but they know all of this stuff. What they're scared of is that they don't want you to know that stuff, because if you know it, then you realize that, wait a second, whoa, wait a second.
We don't need you.
That I don't actually need you guys. Oh, cheers, bye.
Exactly.
That is not the status quo that they need is for you to want to be involved with their stuff. As long as you want to be, then they have control.
That's why I believe what is happening in America is so critical, especially for the Black community, because if they decide to evict all of the Black community back to Africa, even though they don't want to go, it's sad to say it is what has to happen.
No, they don't want it. No. Listen, it's trickier than that. It's trickier than that. The conversation about immigration is not about evicting Black America. When you look at the nuance of it, listen to the nuance. It's very tricky, very clever. This is where they make Black America feel they're American. We're defending America, and make them have this mentality of, we don't want immigrants either, because we're not immigrants. We're American. Mm-hmm. All of a sudden, you forget about what these people have done to your ancestors. Mm-hmm. You forget about all of that, because this is an opportunity for you to be part of something that didn't want you before. That's all it is. So then you see Black Americans being more aggressive against immigration and illegal immigrants than even white people.
Yeah, but it takes one bad situation. It takes one bad situation for them all to flip on the head and say, "Oh, we are gonna lump some all Black Americans in."
No, you're mistaken. I respect your opinion, but I look at it historically. America cannot afford the people. They do it. They cannot afford to lose Black America. They can't afford it. You're critical to the United States.
Yes, we are right now, but once completely set itself because we're more of a liability right now.
No. Do you know why you're necessary? You are necessary for the sake of white supremacy. If you disappear, white people have nobody to fight anymore. Then they're going to fight the Latinos. It's not as potent. It's not as the potency of a black person is so important to the structure of white supremacy. If for a Latino can mix himself into whiteness. He can just keep marrying and mix himself into whiteness. A black person can't, like, do you know what it takes for a black person to become white? It takes like 100 years of mixing. Yeah. And even after 100 years, that recessive gene could just pop out of Wesley Snipes.
Be black as hell.
Yeah, it's like it's very difficult to do. So it's like all these other communities can come in, the Greeks, the Arabs, the Latinos, and after a few generations, you're like, maybe this person had some Latino in them at one point. Within like 2 generations, they're wiped out. A black person. Listen, do you know what Wesley would have to do to wipe himself out? Do you know how hard that would be?
Yeah.
Do you know what Morris Chestnut would have to do to wipe himself out? Do you know what these guys would have to do? They would have to literally be married, like they would have to have children with white women for like the next 54 generations. And even then, you'd still get a Blake Griffin. So you see what I'm saying? That is the reason why I'm saying it is so critical you stay there, because the very fabric of this, well, at least I've got white skin thing is important to have black people, because that is how you keep hillbillies and people in trailer parks supporting MAGA. Because they are, Martin Luther King talked about this, because they're sold that even if you're poor, you're broke, at least you got white skin, at least you're not black. At least you're not black. The second black people have left America and there's no black people there, then what? At least you're not Latino. Well, a Latino can mix and then he'll become, so then what's left? So what I'm trying to tell you is that your presence there and the history of Black America is critical to this ruse that gets played. Now, to Black America, I tell them that the biggest mistake you can make is putting all your chips in America. I mean, that's a big mistake. Like, you guys need to be thinking about your exit strategy, because you shouldn't be fighting for that. Like, that place is it's dead.
They ain't finna give you nothing. There's like right now, you could buy land for, like, they're talking about being able to get their 40 acres and a mule. If they do their research, they could go online and buy land for $1 in areas that aren't populated, that aren't the coolest area to be in, and you'd have to develop it, but they could go buy it. They don't want to do it for themselves because they've been indoctrinated to feel like they're not capable, and the individual above them is the person who is going to give them that accessibility to do so.
100%. By the way, guys, there's 300 of you guys on the YouTube. Please go to my channel on YouTube, look at my latest video on Traore versus the United States, the war for Africa begins. Like, share, and comment. Like, share, and comment. We are fighting the algorithm. In order for that video to get to as many people as possible, you are the algorithm. So please do that right now while you are on this live. We are just having a final conversation. The link is there if you want to join in. We're winding down the show. We've been here for almost 2 hours. We're winding down the show. Please go and do that right now. Listen, I feel like, look, we have an awakening. You've seen my YouTube channel. Do you know how many subscribers I've gotten in the last 4 weeks? 40,000. 40,000. What am I saying 40,000? I'm on 147. 44,000. 44,000 subscribers in the last 4 weeks on YouTube. On Instagram, in the last 5 days, no, 7 days, last week, I've gotten, let me say I was on 179, 35,000 followers in the last 7 days on Instagram. 35,000. Guys, it's the message. It's not me, it's the message. It's the message. Things are moving. The tides are turning. People's minds are getting unbamboozled. We need a word to unbamboozle somebody. To reboozle? Do we have to reboozle people? Like, I don't know what the opposite of bamboozlement is. But we need an opposite for that. But I think people's minds are changing, and that is the reason why the pace of the growth now has accelerated. For that reason, because I looked at it and I said, yeah, you know what? When I put out the historical content, this video, we're going to have to fight to get it out. What I like about this is that it's also separating the real people from the fake people, because there's a lot of people who claim to be Pan-Africanists and but they're not really. They're just trying to get views.
Exactly.
They're trying to get views, and they're not really. When you're putting out the real stuff, rehabilitation, yeah, it is rehab. I agree with that. It is rehab. When you're putting out the right stuff, I think that is when you start getting the momentum. And listen, I tell you, the 300's first projects, and by the way, I'm going to give you a little sneak convert thing. The 300, I doubled up the projects for Q1. I doubled it up. Because of this emergency situation we've got going on, I doubled it up. It was supposed to be one product. I doubled it up for Q1. I'm excited for that release. I am excited for that release. For real. Because the things I'm going to put out, I am excited. And I want to tell you now, guys, there is a Captain Africa Instagram page. I will say no more. Shh. There's a Captain Africa Instagram page. Because at this point, the way in which we do what we're doing has to be upgraded. We can't do things the way the old guys did it. Protesting, marching, petitioning, all of that stuff is old. That's from the 80s, 90s, and 60s. We can't do that anymore. In fact, early 2000s. This is complete. We're in the AI generation. Social media generation. We've got to do things completely differently. And in a way, because of the generation that we're in, we're actually in a better position to do what we've got to do. And that's where I will land my conversation for the day. Any last words, Miss Liania and Conrad, last words?
Nope, I just want to hop on there for that. Just hopefully everybody can get on the bandwagon just wherever they're at in the world and really kind of tune into being able to say, hey, it's like a potluck right now. And you just need to bring what you got. Bring what you got.
Okay. Miss Liania?
Thank you very much for the opportunity to share my particular perspective. And I will send that link for the video of R. Kelly, the AI video of R. Kelly.
All right, I'll find it immediately. Don't worry.
Yeah. Okay. And because I share a lot of the links. So actually, to go back to last week, I apologize for saying something about the video with Langley at the Senate because I get so much content from different places. I had forgotten that I actually got that video from you, and so I was saying it like it was new information to you when you in fact shared it with me. So yeah, I get a lot of stuff.
Remember.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. I get a lot of. I see a lot of things because a lot of this stuff comes to me from different platforms. A lot of clickbait, and I agree that if it's too provocative, if it's too intense, then it definitely gets buried. Because I posted a very thoughtful think piece, but I posted a very thoughtful blog after the U.S. election results, and it totally got buried. But it was point on, and every day I hear someone say something, I'm like, that's exactly what I said. That's exactly what I wrote. So yeah. So anyway, okay. And there are a few things that I would like to say about the last part that you were talking about in terms of dilution of complexion and whatnot. Right. And that goes to a point you were making on Saturday about the Pope in terms of his people and his grandmother, who was Creole and Haitian mixed, but obviously light enough that when she migrated to Chicago, she left that life behind. She passed
Right.
right on into their complexion. So yeah. So
Right.
anyway.
Right. No, no,
Okay.
definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
All
Mhm.
right. You know what? Listen,
Thank you.
thank you so much. Thank you. Um, yes, guys, that is all we have for today. Like I said, please check out all of my links. Go to the link in my profile, and check out all of my links. If you want to join the 300, my funding initiative, serious people only, join it. Make sure that you click the blue button after you join so you can confirm your subscription, and email me so that I can integrate you, because the initiative has already begun. For the newsletter, make sure you're signed up to the newsletter as well. And, if you're on the paid tier, very grateful for that, because that obviously supports the channel and all the good stuff. All right, guys, look, let me get out of here. Cheers.